Now let's move on to chopsticks. First, I want to talk about cursor, because when you add a new object to the scene, it's always placed on the cursor, and I'm not meaning the cursor of the mouse, but this little gizmo in the middle of the scene, this cross with the red and white circle around it. Now there's a way to move this cursor, of course. If you click the cursor on the toolbar and click anywhere, you can move it and add objects there. Another thing you want to know is if you click anywhere on the surface of the other object, the cursor will snap. So that's very useful, and we will make use of it right now. So click somewhere you might want to have your first chopstick, I think here, and let's press Shift and A, select Mesh and Cube. Let's scale this cube to resemble the chopsticks more. Go to the edit mode by pressing Tab, press S to scale, and now as you can remember, we can restrict the scale along one axis, but you can also exclude axis from the scale. So if you press Shift and, for example, the X, you can see now you are scaling only on Z and Y axis. So let's do that right here. I think this will be good thickness for a chopstick. Click to confirm and press S again and X and drag it out. Okay. Exit the edit mode by pressing Tab, and we can go to the wireframe mode to better position the chopstick. And you can do it by pressing the icon, but on the keyboard when you hold Z, you can choose from the different view modes right here. So let's press the wireframe mode, click the X view, press G to move the chopstick around, press Z to lock it on the Z axis, place it somewhere here. You can now press Z again back to the look dev, rotate the scene, and there we have our chopstick. Now of course we want another one, and there are several ways to do that. We can use array, but there would be kind of overkill for just the two objects. And you can use duplicate, which I've shown you when you press the right mouse button, but there's another option. There's duplicate linked, and what that does, it creates again the instance of the original object, but on the new location which you specify. So let's do that right now. If you press right mouse button and click duplicate linked, press Y to lock on the Y axis, move just about here. Now you have two chopsticks. One more thing, we want to reset cursor. If you press Shift C, you will center scene and reset the cursor. You can now come back here, and don't forget to switch to the select mode right here, because now all the clicks would move the cursor around. Now let me show you why the link duplicates might be useful. If you enter the edit mode with the chopstick selected, both of them got highlighted, but we got only one of them selected. And if I, for example, move some vertex around, it does on the duplicate too. But this is a good place to show you difference between transforming an object in the object mode and in the edit mode. Up until now, most of the time we scaled and rotated objects in the edit mode, but you can do the same thing in the object mode. So what's the difference? If we would go to the edit mode and scale this chopstick, it would scale the instances as well. But if you go into the object mode and scale it now, you are scaling the instance, the wrapper around that original object. So that's one of the difference of scaling or modifying transforming object in the edit mode and the object mode. And another useful thing is using materials. So with the chopstick selected, I just click new material and give it the kind of woodish color, if that's a thing, like this. The other object has the same material now. So we are finished with modeling and giving materials to our scene.